What are your thoughts on the underground music scene in San Diego, the positive and the negatives?
Ooh. It's in a good place compared to where it was 3 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, I'd say. It used to be hard to find an event that wasn't playing trap and dubstep or big room or stuff like that. There wasn't a lot of underground in the scene. So for it to be emerging now, it's really cool. But there's also saturation. There's a lot of recycling of DJs. There's a lot of politics. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. Yeah. I'll put you on my lineup, and you can put me on yours. Yeah. Recycling resident DJs. Like, I get you have your crew, and it's awesome that you guys have, like, a team. Yeah, a team is very crucial for success. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Because, like, okay, so you have a company, right?
Yes.
And you sell strawberries, bananas, limes, and apples, okay? Mm-hmm. This guy comes up to you and says, I sell vegetables. Can I plug my vegetables in your store? No, I only sell vegetables. You're going to lose out on money. 1, clientele. 2, and then I, the person that sells vegetables, I am receptive to be, I can just be like, okay, I'm going to open my own business and sell fruits. Yeah, also, that's the bad competition when it comes to business, when you're forced to compete and now you're stepping on people's toes, the same genres on the same nights.
It's been fun to experience it and explore it because I moved down here from LA. I've lived here for 2 years now. And it's so cool because if you don't know what's up and where to go, it's unfortunate because there's so much good stuff in the underground house music scene here. People, we like to unite a little bit more. It is a smaller network and it's kind of saturated, I feel like. At the same time, what I've loved seeing, especially in the last year, is the different crews uniting and joining forces and doing stuff because honestly, it's hard. Like, you have friends, a lot of the people share the same friends, they want to go to the same parties, and it's better to join forces because then everybody wins, you know, everybody gets to be together.
Because a lot of shows and DJs are overlapping, I see. Yeah. But as long as we all stay united and help each other out.
I think it's important to do that too, to work together, even if it doesn't have to be like working together on the same event. But I was talking to some other guys that run some of the parties here, and I think something that would help would be to communicate on dates and stuff, because we have some of the parties and the people really they're not trying to compete with each other, but it's good to be mindful so then when they're scheduling something, it works out better that their party's on one day and then the other party's on the other.
There's no negatives.
I love that. I love that.
But I'm wondering why. What do you think?
No, there's negatives. We don't have to talk about those.
It's
a choice we can make.
Yeah, if you don't want to, but it's also good to bring awareness to what can be improved in the community.
Naturally, within this business, within a certain community, there's always going to be a rubbing of elbows. Which happens, you know, we have to be careful to throw our events. All of the people who are booking these big events, we have to be careful not to throw parties on the same day because then the scene gets cut in half, the scene gets cut in thirds sometimes.
The market gets saturated.
That's a good word for it, saturation. But at the same time, I think it's great because everything's growing up. I moved down here because I liked the healthy scene around here. Growing up in Orange County is not the same, not the same boat. Orange County kind of is a different story. People, you know, they have their nose ups in the air over there, but what they really need to do is put their nose down and jump into the underground. But I also have never felt so much love from a group of people as I have down here in this scene. Like, everyone really cares for each other. Everyone always asks if they're okay, how they're doing. Big family. Yeah, it's a really big family. You see all the same people, and then you meet new people all the time, and it's great.
I feel like there's not enough events going on. I wish there was more. A lot of the stuff is the same, though. You know what I mean? The same place. We need something new. Definitely something new, you know. You got your regular spots that you go to, you know. I want to, you know, get people to do something new. Like Richie Hines, super big techno DJ guy. He went on this campaign saying he wanted to play different. He came up with a mixer and all that, and he was pushing people to play different. Anybody can play a track, but can you remix it? What can you do to make it sound different? Yeah. Like, I'm in the party business. Like, you have to come up.
You're selling the event.
Yeah, you got to come up with a new product. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you got a restaurant, you have to come up with a coupon or something like. Oh.
I think that it's in a really good spot right now. There's lots of creative minds trying to make, you know, cool, unique parties happen.
Have you faced any challenges?
Yeah, maybe a lack of communication, because what it seems is like lots of people trying to get involved, but there could be better communication on who's doing what when to help make it more like synchronized market. So you're not taking friends away from feeling like they have to go to other places. You know, you just got to be careful in a small city, well, a smaller city compared to like LA. to not saturate the market.
Right now, the biggest positive that I can think of is how many super talented artists that we have in the underground house and techno scene. It is amazing how many great producers and DJs that are actually in the scene right now. I was actually going to say, like, the downside is that I feel like there's not as much communication between bigger crews that are doing parties to make sure that the whole scene stays healthy. Because if you start lining up events where people aren't communicating and they're going out and booking a big artist, and then all of a sudden you have overlapping events that are taking the whole scene away when there might not be that many people still available to go. The communication in the scene wasn't right to make sure that everyone is successful and everyone can keep moving on.
I mean, I've only been in San Diego for I guess 6 years now. Definitely I've talked to a lot of people who have been in the scene a long time, and it sounds like we're now on the up and coming, and I definitely see a lot of positivity and a lot of unity that's starting to happen. There was a good dark period where there was a lot of just I guess you'd call them clicks and feuds. Yeah. Not dark like the music that is just soul filling, but dark as in just not
bad competition, the dark ages.
And just pettiness and stuff. And I'm seeing a lot of positivity and unification, and everyone's starting to want to work together and not step on each other's toes and help each other succeed, which is really exciting to see. And we're seeing a lot of really good DJs and good events coming out, and I think we're seeing a rebirth of the underground in San Diego.
Anything that needs improvement?
I can't think of anything specifically. There's a lot of things that are improving, and as long as that continues, I think we'll continue to see success in the music scene in San Diego.
I think it's really cool that we have a lot of different events around San Diego that are outside of the mainstream downtown crowd. I also think that it's really cool that we have so many different promotion groups doing so many different vibes and throwing around so many different kinds of ideas. You go to a disco party at night, or you'll go to a techno party at night.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything.
And it's cool that we have spin, it's open till 4, so you get a little bit of a taste of what the rest of the world is like. Most major cities, you can go out all night long.
A lot of events around the world, and there's nothing like San Diego really. It's really so special how almost everybody knows everybody, and it's just friends getting together, going out and having a good time, celebrating each other, which is what it's all about. It's pretty welcoming. It's not very pretentious like Berlin. It's just about coming together and having a good time.
What about the negatives?
Production quality, I feel like, and I feel like a lot of that is people don't want to come out and spend a lot of money on tickets right now. People worry about a $30 or $40 ticket sometimes when it's worth it.
I think it has so much potential. There's so many different amazing venues down here, and their crews and different types of people. I think that electronic music has come a really long way with the smaller music festivals that are starting to get more popularity, like Lightning in a Bottle, Enchanted Forest, or Utopia even, which is the Burning Man regional event down here in San Diego. I think that there's a lot of room for the underground music to shine through, and I think that's what we're trying to do.
I think as people collaborate and different crews work together, I think that's the key, and that's the change we've been seeing with the bass scene. People are now oh yeah, I'll go to your show, I'll work with you, and growing to become a bigger thing as opposed to just a bunch of little islands. I feel like a few years ago it wasn't like that.
Is there anything that needs improvement?
I think we just need more trap and bass music.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not too negative. When I came to San Diego, I was super happy to see little collectives doing their thing, and they're not so little anymore. These collectives are bringing a lot of people. And that's with any kind of performance-based little local collective. But they are very self-contained. They don't really go out of their comfort zone, different genres, and try to include a little bit of everything. And I think that's what San Diego is all about. It's more about everybody connecting everybody with everybody, not just having one exclusive event limited to one genre where no art or just art and no music. There's a lot of limited events like that. I feel like in order to have a successful variety of people and people not to get bored, then you have to be diverse.
Well, I'm always going to be positive about it because I think it's growing. I think it's come a long way. But again, I've only been doing it for 6 or 7 years. Maybe I'm just more in tune because I'm becoming more part of it. But I think it's going great. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good things. There's a lot of your first guest, Sebastian Karma. He's doing a great event. Yeah, Divinity, the Native Alien guys. I go on and on. I hesitate mentioning people because I'm already going to leave someone out. There's just so much that's happening and it's building, and I see everyone working together like I never saw 6 or 7 years ago.